Sometimes it can be a little overwhelming looking at an entire chemical equation and trying to figure out how many atoms of each element we have on the reactant side versus the product side. So I'm going to teach you a pretty simple way to do this. First, let's just look at the reactant side, which I'm going to box off in green. So everything on this side of the equation, those are our reactants. We want to know how many sulfur atoms we have on that side of the equation, how many oxygen atoms, and how many hydrogen atoms we have on the reactant side of the equation. So let's start with sulfur. I'm going to look through here and I see S is the symbol for sulfur, and I see that we have an S right here. I don't see any other S's on the reactant side. So we have a total of one sulfur atom on this side of the equation. Now I'm going to take a look at my oxygen. I see that I have two oxygens right here. I have two more oxygens over here. They're all on the reactant side of the equation. So I have a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 oxygen atoms on just the reactant side of the equation. And then lastly, let's take a look at our hydrogens, our H's. I see, as I'm looking on the reactant side inside the green box, I see hydrogens right here. So I have a total of 2 hydrogens on the reactants side of the equation. Now let's go ahead and move over to the product side of the equation, which I'm going to box off. And let's do that in purple instead. I'm going to box off the product side of the equation. And now let's start with sulfur, because that's the first one in the chart. So I'm going to take a look at the sulfur. And I'm looking through here, I see sulfur right here. So I have 1 sulfur on the product side of the equation. Next in the chart is oxygen. I'm looking and I see oxygen right here. I have a total of 4 oxygens, 4 O's. And then lastly, I'm looking for hydrogens on the product side only. And I see hydrogen right here. I see there's a total of 2 hydrogens on the product side of the equation. And now my chart is complete. Notice that I have the same amount of sulfur atoms on both sides of the equation, the same amount of oxygen atoms on both sides of the equation, and the same amount of hydrogen atoms on both sides of the equation.